Wyatt Earp, Wyatt Earp, brave, courageous, and bold. Long live his fame, and long live his glory, and long may his story be told.
Last night's steak was the best I ever had, Wiley.
It'll get better.
I don't know how you do it.
Well, it takes a lot of practice. And a perfect memory.
Didn't anybody ever win from you?
Oh, a couple have tried. A couple have cheated.
I bet they were sorry.
Well, I wouldn't know. You see, they're dead now. But like I was saying, Mr. Brandywine, about a perfect memory. I not only remember every card that's been played, but I know right to the dime how much I took in for the house.
Well, I just counted it. It comes to a little under $870.
You better count it again. Exactly $300 off.
I don't see how I can make a mistake like that.
Oh, it's possible. I wouldn't have brought it up except it affects my 20% commission. That's an extra $60 for me. If I were you, I'd count it again, boss.
No, I'll take your word for it. Let's see, 20% of 1170 is...
234.
Right. Here you are.
Thank
Morning, Mr. Brandywine.
What do you want, Marshal? I'm not open for business.
Well, I had a few complaints about your faro table, Mr. Brandywine.
Nobody can prove anything.
No, neither can I.
And you're wasting my time.
Well, ordinarily, I don't pay too much attention to these complaints, but when I heard that Max Wiley was working for you, I figured they made sense. Wichita's a nice town, Max.
That's right, Marshal. Real nice.
If you don't mind, I'd like you to leave it.
Just a minute, Marshal. You can't prove a thing that...
No, Marshal, I think I'll stay here. Like you say, it's a real nice town.
You know, Max, I had to arrest you once in Ellsworth. You served a long term, then I run you out of town, remember?
Mm-hmm, I remember.
I can do the same thing here.
On what ground?
Suspicion of cheating.
How are you going to prove anything?
Look, Max, don't push your luck too far. I'm giving you a chance to leave peaceably.
Earp and Ellsworth, you got me for carrying a gun. I'm unarmed now.
You know, you may be the best dealer on the frontier circuit. But to me, you're just a stinking coward.
You can call me any name you want to, Marshal. But you can't arrest me. And you can't run me out of town.
You cheat. And sometimes you get caught at it. But you ain't got the guts to go without a gun, even against an unarmed man.
Look, Marshal, I'm warning you. I don't...
Max, I do the warning around here. Something else I remember about you, too. You're left-handed, aren't you?
So?
So it figures you should be wearing a gun somewhere near your left hand.
Ow!
I've seen these before. You straighten out the arm and a spring shoves a gun down in your hand. Like I said, Max, you're a coward.
Let go of my arm, you hurt me! Ow!
It looks like you're gonna have to rest your gun hand for a while. Now, look, I don't like the idea of putting you in jail and having to feed you for 60 days. So how'd you like to leave town all of a sudden?
All of a sudden, it's a good idea.
Earp, you'll regret this.
Mr. Brandywine, I've regretted a lot of things, but not this, and neither will the rest of the citizens. Now, I want to tell you something. Don't you hire any more crooked gamblers.
You can't prove a thing.
Mister, I've had enough of you and people like you. That's all I'm going to say. Good morning.
I've had about enough of it. He's meddling in things he's got no right to, and we're paying for it.
And I could show you my books. Business is a way off since he come in as marshal.
Well, complaining about it don't help. As near as I can see, nothing else does either. We tried to get rid of Earp before, remember? With men and Clemens. But it didn't work. The way it looks to me, it's the way he says. Well, we leave Wichita.
Sit down. I got an idea. One that'll work.
You said that before.
And after he got rid of men and Clements, Jehn Wesley Hardin came to town looking for trouble, and Earp fixed him, too.
Here's my idea. You know these frontier towns better than any of us. You probably know every gunslinger there is.
Maybe I do. But offhand, I don't know of one man who'd stand up to Earp.
How about two? Two gunslingers working as a team. Suppose you offer them $1,500 to get Wyatt.
$1,500?
We'd each put up a third. Isn't it worth it to run your place the way you want to? You'll make it back in 2 nights.
It's worth it to me.
You think you can find a couple of men who'd,
Not here. Let me think. It seems to me that Yeah. I know a couple of gunslingers who'd shoot their own brothers for $1,500. And after we get a pair of professionals, only one will be in sight. At least that's the way I do it.
I had something like that in mind. Come here. Collins hires the men, and they work it out any way they want. What do you say?
But suppose it don't work out.
It'll work out. Where do you figure you'll go?
Well, maybe Dodge City. Hey, that's a pretty wide open place. Or Abilene, if I have to. There's always a lot of guns for hire in a place like that. And I'm ready to go right now.
Tomorrow morning will be early enough, eh, Tom?
Yeah, I suppose it's all right.
Good boy. I knew you'd come up with something.
Oh, good morning, Mr. Murdoch.
Wyatt, you're in trouble.
What, again?
I mean it. They're plotting to kill you. If you don't do something about this, you're as good as dead.
Look, Mr. Murdoch, there've been plots against me ever since I came to Wichita. You know that.
I know, Wyatt, but you don't understand.
Now, just relax. Come on, sit down. Got yourself all worked up. It's all part of the job.
Wyatt, this is serious. Believe me.
All right, who is it this time?
Well, Collins is one of them. I suspect Brandywine and Plummer are in on it, too. They've always been pretty thick. They've got the same grievances.
They do. If you mean crooked gambling by grievances.
Wyatt, you've been in any number of dangerous situations since you've been here.
Mr. Murdoch, I appreciate your concern. I'm grateful. Now, what's it all about?
This is a letter from an acquaintance of mine in Dodge City. A man I helped once when he was in trouble.
Hmm? Who is he?
I'd rather not say. He's not a good man, but he trusts me. That's why he wrote me this letter.
All right, I won't ask you again.
Well, Collins is in Dodge City. He's been trying to hire some gunmen. He's gone as high as $1,500.
That's a lot of money.
He hasn't been able to hire anybody yet. The job is too dangerous. You can guess what it is.
Well, I'm complimented.
You know it's only a matter of time before he finds someone. He's looking for a team. 2 men, not 1. Wyatt, you've got to do something.
All right, Mr. Murdoch, let's assume for the moment that your informant is telling the truth. Now, what am I going to do about it?
Hire some extra deputies, bodyguards. The city will pay for it. I'll see to that.
What kind of a marshal goes around hiring a bodyguard?
Look, you're going to let your pride get in the way of your common sense?
Pride's got nothing to do with it. It's a matter of my own effectiveness. Now, how effective would I be as a marshal of Wichita if I hired somebody to guard me night and day?
That's not the point. The problem is to keep you alive so you can still function
Oh,
here.
you're wrong, Mr. Murdoch. If I did something like that, I couldn't function at all. If there's any bodyguarding to do, I'll do it. It's my job. I'm supposed to be the bodyguard of Wichita. I like the job, I like the city, and I like the people in it. Most of them.
Sometimes I'm sorry I ever asked you to come to Wichita.
No, I'm not sorry.
I don't know what more I can say, Wyatt. Except if there's anything I can do, I'll do it.
Well, you've already done a lot just by warning me, and I appreciate it. But as far as anything else is concerned, stay out of it. You know, Wichita needs you and your fine newspaper a lot more than it needs me.
I doubt that very much. Wyatt, maybe you can think of something better than the bodyguard idea, huh? Maybe?
Maybe. Thanks again.
Come on, we haven't got all day.
That's it.
Afternoon, gents. There's a law here that says...
Whiskey.
Oh, sure. Say, boys, if you want to stay out of trouble...
2 glasses.
All right. Would you boys mind taking a look at that sign over there?
That the same sign that's on the outskirts of town?
Yeah, that's right. It says you're not allowed to carry fire...
We can read.
Listen, we don't want any trouble in this place. The boss and the law don't get along too well as it is, and we...
Where is he?
Who, the boss?
Yeah.
I'll get him.
Where are they?
That's them over there.
Bring them in the office.
He says, would you mind seeing him in the office?
We don't mind. What do we owe you?
Nothing. It's on the house.
Step right in, gentlemen.
After you.
My name's Brandywine, James Brandywine. Sit down, gentlemen. What'll I call you?
It doesn't matter. We won't be here long enough for it to make any difference.
Well, now, what can I do for you?
The way I understand it, we can do something for you, friend.
That may be so. Excuse me for being so careful, but you understand, I want to be sure I'm talking to the right man.
You are. We met your friend Collins in Abilene. He hired us.
Oh, excuse me, just a minute. Collie? Collie!
Yes, sir.
Go next door and tell Tom Plummer I want to see him right away.
Yes, sir.
Plummer's one of my associates also. Oh, by the way, did Collins come with you?
Nope.
Why not?
How do I know? You're asking a lot of questions. Now, look, we came here to do a job for $1,500. Let's either get on with it or forget it.
Oh, gentlemen, please. It's just that, well, I don't want anything to go wrong.
Don't get nervous. Nothing is gonna go wrong.
Yes?
It's me, Tom Plummer.
Oh, yes, Tom. Come in. Tom, shake hands with these two gentlemen. They're the men we've been expecting.
Howdy.
How about this marshal? Where is he?
Oh, he's probably in his office. He generally is at this time of day. Tell me, do you have some sort of plan?
Yeah. The first part of it. To collect half of the money.
Well,
I told you we'd probably be taking a long ride for nothing.
Wait a minute. We didn't come for nothing like he says. We came to do a job. You don't want us to do it, you pay us anyway. For our trouble. Now cough up with $750.
all right, all right. But we still want you to do the...
Wait a minute.
This...
All right.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. There you are, $750.
All right. Let's get to work.
Do you have some sort of a plan? If not...
Sure we have. I'm gonna walk out in the street and wait for him. You stay by that big front window, and when he gets close enough, let him have it.
All right. Unless one of you've got a better idea.
Well, that's good. That's real simple. We could have done that ourselves.
You still can. Which of you wants to meet him in the street?
I see what you mean.
Well, I think I'll go back to my place.
Marshal, there's a gunslinger outside, waiting right in the middle of the street.
What's he waiting for?
For you. He's dressed all in black and he's wearing 2 white-handled guns.
I guess I better go see what's on his mind, huh?
Shoot. Go ahead and shoot.
Shut up.
What's going on out there? They're laughing.
Let's go outside and see.
Virgil, the old son of a gun, honey. You look wonderful. How have you been?
Just fine, Wyatt. How about yourself?
Hey, where did you get that outfit?
Well, it wasn't easy, Wyatt, believe me. How about you? Where'd you get that small cannon?
Well, that's my buntline special. It's kind of awkward looking, isn't it? It's very effective for long-range shooting. Funny story how I got it. I'll tell you about it later. Hey, Morgan inside?
He ought to be out any second.
Hi, Wyatt.
Hey, Morgan. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
What's the matter, Mr. Brandywine? You look sick. But you're going to get a lot of rest. You'll be in jail a long time.
On what charge?
Attempted murder? Oh, but before you go, I'd like you to meet Morgan and Virgil Earp, two of my brothers.
No.
That's right. Well, they're new in town, Mr. Brandywine, so would you mind showing my brother where the jail is? Hey, Virgil, was anybody else in on this besides Brandywine and Collins?
There was a fellow named Plummer, saloon keeper. Said he was going back to his place.
I figured he was in on it.
Wyatt, has this fellow Collins showed up with anybody yet?
No, not yet. We'll be waiting for him when he does.
Hope it doesn't take too long. Morgan and I got work to do back in Dodge.
Yeah, I know. Come on, let's go see Mr. Plummer.
Who is it? It's Collins. Open the door.
This here is Mr. Collins.
Mr. Collins?
No need for you to know what my friend's name is. I checked in as Luke McGuire. He's not registered.
Yes, I know. You're very careful.
Where do we find this fellow, Earp?
He patrols Douglas Avenue most of the night.
You pay us now?
No, my friend has the money. You'll get half first and the balance after.
How do we collect after?
Well, my partner will hand you the money through a back window.
Where's the back window?
I'll show you. Meet me on the corner across from Rowdy Cates in 5 minutes.
This is it.
Brandywine. Brandywine. Brandywine.
Yeah?
It's me,
Who's me?
Collins. And I've got our two friends with me.
You have, huh? Good. Don't anybody move.
You heard the man. Don't move.
Well, what's this all about?
You'll find out in jail, Collins. I'll try to fix it up so you have a cell with your two friends, Plummer and Brandywine.
No, wait.
Go on, move! Morgan. Oh, yeah, here's the other one. Name's George Chance, alias George Wilson, alias... Well, anyway, he's wanted in Kansas City for armed robbery, McLennan County, Texas for a stage holdup, and Amarillo, Texas for the same thing. Well, it says here he's a very desperate character and will undoubtedly resist arrest.
Better send a correction on that, Wyatt. They didn't cause us any trouble at all.
It was that black outfit of yours. It'd scare anybody.
Well, you think so? Say, Wyatt, what about this $750? What do you think we ought to do with it?
Well, that's up to you, boys. As far as I'm concerned, you earned it.
We wouldn't feel right keeping that kind of money, Wyatt. We'll take out our expenses. You can have the rest.
Well, I don't want to.
Well, maybe you could do some good with it. Must be somebody around here who has a need for something. What are you laughing about?
I was just thinking. The school needs a couple of new classrooms.
Fine, that's a good cause if I've ever heard of one.
You know, I can just see Brandywine's face when he finds out what happened to his money. Oh, thanks. Yeah, this ought to cover your expenses. Look, how do you go about thanking somebody for saving your life?
You don't. That's what brothers are for, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess so. I hope I can return you the favor someday.
I hope you don't have to.
Come on, Morgan. We better get on our way. So long, Wyatt.
So long, Virgil. Thanks a lot for coming.
Don't drop your line.
I always should do that. Bye, Morgan.
Goodbye, Wyatt. Keep yourself out of trouble, will you?
I'll try. Of course, in my job, that's not too easy. Have a good ride.
We'll try to.
You'll hear from us.
Give my love home.
Well, he cleaned up the country, the old Wild West country. He made law and order prevail. And none can deny it, the legend of Wyatt forever will live on the trail.
Oh, Wyatt Earp, Wyatt Earp, brave, courageous, and bold. Long live his fame, and long live his glory, and long may his story be told. Long may his
When Wyatt Earp, as marshal of Wichita, ran Mann and Clemens out of town, he overlooked one dangerous fact. Clemens, a notorious killer in his own right, was first cousin to Jehn Wesley Hardin. In the West of 1875, Hardin was known as the deadliest gunslinger of them all. And Wes Hardin was now on his way to Wichita.
Well, there's Wichita, hon. Right around that bend.
Do we have to go to Wichita?
Got to sell the horses.
That's not the only reason. You listen to Mann and Clemens.
Well, he's kinfolk, hon.
Stupid, ignorant yahoo. Why don't you let him settle his own quarrel?
Because Wyatt Earp's too smart for him. But he ain't too smart for me.
More trouble. Oh, why, Wes? We're out of Texas. The law's not after you here. Why don't we just push on to Nebraska and get clean away?
Because I owe it to Manning.
Oh.
I do owe him, hon. Manning, Joe, Jip, the whole Clemens branch of the family helped me in that Sutton-Taylor fight.
I hate and despise the Clemenses.
No man gonna tell no kin of mine to get out of no town. So you just let me handle this my own way, Janie. Manning asked me to do a chore for him. And I'm going to do it.
Gunning Wyatt Earp. That's a chore.
Might be real pleasant. Get up. Come on.
Why weren't you down at the rail yards?
Lucky I wasn't.
Change that Snake River outfit real quick. Extra deputy would have made it easier.
Then who'd have seen Jehn Wesley Hardin come into town?
Hardin?
Yep. Him and his wife. They came in with a string of trade horses. Put up at the Texas Hotel. Sassy as you please.
Oh.
Wes is first cousin to Mann and Clemens, you know.
Yeah.
If I was you, Mr. Earp, I'd get the jump on him fast.
Don't have any warrant for Hardin.
There's plenty of warrants for him down south. And about 10,000 in rewards.
You want scalp money, son?
I could use some. But mainly I'm thinking of you and Wes in a tangle.
I know that. Well, Hardin might not be aiming to pick up Clemens' quarrel. It's been running a long time. Could be he's tired of it. Well, there's only one way of finding out.
How's that?
I'll go ask him.
Hello, Mr. Earp.
Hi, Ben. John Wesley Hardin registered?
Yep. His wife went up to their room. He's in the bar.
You check his guns?
Right nice about it. No argument.
Thanks, man.
And there was Wild Bill Hickok, all duded up for the women and ready to make a big show-off play. He stepped up to me and he said, Mr. Hardin, I must ask you for your guns.
Well, what'd you do, Wes?
Well,
Why, Mr. Earp.
Well, don't let me interrupt, Mr. Hardin.
You Wyatt Earp? Well, you ain't much older than I am.
Well, you're quite an old man from experience, Mr. Hardin.
I sure am. I ought to be gray-headed by now, Mr. Earp.
Wes, tell us what happened when Hickok asked you to hand over your guns.
Well, it wasn't much. Just a little trick I invented. Would you like to see it, Mr. Earp?
Now, Mr. Hardin, I'm always interested in new gun tricks.
Well, I have to get my guns.
Well, don't bother. You can use one of mine. I've seen a few accidents, fellas, doing tricks with loaded guns.
Seen a few myself. Hey, that's a right good gun. Good balance. Hey, you must have had a good gunsmith work over that sear.
Did it myself.
No fooling. That's right slick. I experiment around with guns myself.
So I hear.
Hey, Wes, you said you'd show us.
Yeah. Well, Hickok was Marshal Abilene at the time, Mr. Earp. He asked me to turn over my guns to him, so
I handed them to him, grips first, and then I...
The road agent spin, huh?
Well, that's what they call it now. It's really the Hardin spin.
That's the fastest I've ever seen it done.
Well, he's Jehn Wesley Hardin. Show us another trick, Wes.
Here's one I bet you ain't never seen before.
That's real magic stuff, Wes.
You ever seen that one before, Mr. Earp?
No, I haven't, but I imagine it comes in mighty handy for you, Mr. Hardin.
That's called the Hardin switch. Them Rangers copied it. They call it the border switch. Man who pioneers never gets the credit.
That's very often true.
You do any gun tricks, Mr. Earp?
No, Mr. Hardin. I just draw when I have to and shoot.
Why don't you and Wes draw against each other? See which is the fastest, huh? Oh, come on.
Well, that wouldn't be much of a contest.
Oh, I don't know about that, Mr. Earp. My cousin, Manning Clemens, tells me you're pretty quick, too.
Well, Manning wouldn't know. He never drew against me.
I don't take a bluff like Manning does.
Well, you're a lot smarter than he
is. He is pretty stupid, ain't he? He got scared by his name on a grave.
Oh, no, I heard about it.
And speaking of tricks, Mr. Earp, that was a right good one. How about let's have a drink on it?
Well, no, thanks. I don't care too much for that stuff, but I'm very happy to meet you, Mr. Hardin.
Well, same here, Mr. Earp.
I'll see you around.
Hey, bartender, set him up for everybody.
Hardin, you're a dirty liar.
What did you say?
I'm a friend of Parrot Beak, and nobody calls him Parrot Beak and lives but his friends. James Butler Hickok, that's his name. The world's fastest gunman. And you never ran it over him in Abilene or any other place. You're just a no-good, dirty liar. And I'm gonna...
You dead?
Yes,
sure is.
Well, how'd you guess?
You didn't invent the shoulder rig, Mr. Hardin. It's used by gamblers on the Mississippi steamboats.
Oh, not this rig. That spring clip holds it. That's my own idea.
Well, I'll see if the judge will give you a patent.
Judge, are you arresting me?
That's right.
Well, it was a clear case of self-defense. All these men will testify he drew on me first.
That's right, Mr. Earp. This man had a gun in his hand when Wes drew and fired.
I'm not too sure about that. To jail, Mr. Hardin.
Well, just when I was commencing to feel sorry for you.
Wes! Wes, what have you done?
Well, nothing to worry about, hon. I had to shoot a man, that's all.
No. Are you Mr. Earp?
That's right, ma'am.
Why, not for a minute, Wes. It was self-defense, wasn't it?
Why, sure.
I'll have to let the judge decide that.
Can I go with him?
No, you stay right here, hon. This won't take 30 minutes. Oh, now don't fret yourself, hon. They can't hold me.
Judge, the man he killed, Mr. Atwell, had been drinking by himself for several hours. Well, it just doesn't seem logical to me that after seeing Hardin here do his tricks, he'd want to draw on him.
He talks like a lawyer, don't he?
Sure does.
Order. Marshal Earp, these men have testified that the deceased did draw a gun. And you have said that when you found Mr. Atwell, he had a gun in his hand when he was lying on the floor.
That's true, Your Honor, but Hardin or anybody else here could have put that gun in his hand after he was shot.
That is only your theory, Earp.
Yeah. Where's your proof?
Order. For lack of evidence to the contrary, the court must rule that you shot in self-defense. But I'm fining you $100 for carrying this gun in violation of our city ordinance.
Fair enough.
Your Honor, I think this man ought to be in jail. I'm not satisfied it was self-defense, and I'd like to work on the case.
You mean you'd like to enjoy life for a few days?
Are you threatening Mr. Earp?
Oh, no, sir. Nothing like that.
Your Honor, I withdraw my objection. Find him and turn him loose.
Very well. But I'd advise him to leave town.
50 and 50. Are you telling me to leave, Judge?
No, I'm suggesting, Mr. Hardin. And you might be grateful to me someday.
I ain't shown Earp the real trick yet.
He is threatening you.
Yes, sir, he is.
Then go and get him. I'll send him to jail for 30 days.
I don't think it would be a good idea to put Hardin in jail, sir. Word to get around that I was scared of him.
Well, we can hold him for the Texas officers.
Well, that wouldn't be good, sir, because then they'd say I was after the reward money.
Hang it all, Earp. The man is one of the worst killers in the Southwest. You'd be smart to get this man out of town.
Well, Judge, there are two things a marshal can't do. One of them is you can't show fear for any gunslinger, and the other is you can't trade in a man's life for reward money. Besides, Hardin's got me curious. I'd like to find out what that trick is he has up his sleeve. Good day, sir.
Sorry I'm late, hon.
You said 30 minutes.
All that Wyatt Earp tried to hang me on a murder charge. Then he asked the judge to put me in jail for carrying Sweet Betsy. I ought to gun him for that, if for nothing else.
Isn't one man enough for you in this town?
I had to drop Atwell. He was reaching.
You don't have to gun Earp.
No. Not tonight.
Not any time. Look, Wes, I didn't unpack. Let's get out of here now. Oh, please.
You can go if you want. Just hitch up the team and go.
You've said that to me quite a few times lately.
I say it again. You're too good for me, Janie. You never should have married me or stuck with me the way you have. I tried to quit this kind of life. We ran to Alabama, we ran to Florida. We took up horse trading. Well, we even changed our names.
It's done. It was my decision. I love you.
One thing always happened. Some fellow with a tin star found me out. Got greedy for the rewards. Well, now it's Earp. He's young and he's smart. Awful smart. He's a big hero in Wichita. Killing me would...
Don't say that.
I say killing me would be a big thing to Earp. Oh, no. He ain't gonna let me get out of town without a fight. You can bet on that.
No, Wes. You don't want to leave. If I can get him to let us go, will you? I'll go right now. I'll talk to him. He didn't look so mean or terrible to me. I'll go right now. Where'll I find him?
Oh, you'll find him somewhere downtown, not too far from the hotel. He'll be keeping his eye out for me.
I'll ask people. You'll see, Wes. He'll listen to me. You won't leave. You'll be here when I get back.
Think you can fix it?
Oh, of course I can. How soon, Mr. Earp?
Well, just as soon as you can. It's my good coat, you know.
For you, I mend it right away. It was good I was working tonight, huh?
Thanks. Oh, good evening, Mrs. Hardin.
Good evening. Where can we talk?
Well, we can
You talk right here. I go to my workroom in the back.
Sit down, Mrs. Hardin.
Thank you. Wes thinks you won't let him leave town. Is that so?
There's nothing to stop Mr. Hardin from leaving town if he wants to.
Oh, he does want to. Why do you say if?
Man and Clemens talked your husband into coming here to gun me because I drove him out of town.
But Wes has changed his mind. All he wants now is to leave town before there's any more trouble.
He's not going to show me the big trick, huh?
Trick? I don't know what you mean.
It's some kind of new gun trick he's invented, Mrs. Hardin. But if Wes has really changed his mind, it suits me fine.
Oh, he has changed. He gave me his word. This is the only real chance I've ever had to clear Wes and me. We aim to go to Nebraska, change our names and start in a respectable business.
Well, is that your idea or his?
Both of us.
Mrs. Hardin, I think your husband has a trick up his sleeve to using a gunfight with me, and I think he gave his word to Clemens. That's stronger than any promise he's made to you.
No, you're wrong.
All right. All Wes has to do to prove it is leave town.
You won't try to stop him? Or fight him or ambush him with deputies?
You'll have no trouble unless he asks for it.
I believe you. Thank you very much, Mr. Earp.
Not at all, Mrs. Hardin.
In a second, hon.
We can leave. I told you. I told you Mr. Earp's not after you.
Oh.
Oh, he wasn't stringing me. I could tell by the way he talked. Oh, we're out of it, Wes, out of it. Let's leave now. Tonight, this very minute. I'll help you hitch up the team and...
Well,
Wes, what's the matter?
not tonight, hon.
Why not? Tell me why not.
Well, it's just common sense, hon. Now, Earp may be telling the truth, but well, he's got his deputies. I ain't gonna risk getting us bushwhacked in the dark.
No, I guess it is more sensible to wait for daylight. But you will leave.
Well, I promised you, didn't I?
Of course you did. I'm sorry. Just kind of twitchy nerves, I guess.
Where'd you find Earp?
He was in a tailor shop down the street having a coat mended. Very decent man, I thought. That gun.
Oh, you want me to keep it hid? Close it up good and neat. That's my Janie. Real neat.
Keep one more promise.
Huh?
Don't drink in the bar tonight. Stay here with me. Then we can get some sleep and an early start. Is that such a difficult promise?
Oh, that's a real easy one.
Oh, good morning. I'm a little late. I don't sleep so good.
No great rush. I just want to buy a coat.
Oh, yes, sir. Tailored or ready-made?
Right off the rack, friend.
Oh, I got some nice coats that will fit you. First we get a little light in here, and then...
Never mind light.
What you say?
I'm Hardin. Jehn Wesley Hardin.
You are Hardin?
All right, shut up. You just be quiet and listen to me. You go out and find Wyatt Earp. Tell him to come here. If he's got the nerve. I won't wait long. If he don't come, I'll go after him. While I'm waiting, I'll pick out a coat.
To be buried in?
Pardon me. Have you seen Mr. Hardin?
Why, yes, a little while ago. I think he went out back to hitch a team, Mrs. Hardin.
Thank you. Where? Where?
Tommy, what's up?
Oh, Mr. Earp. Hardin. He is waiting for you in my shop to make gunfire. Oh, excuse me. I hurried too fast.
Any idea why he wants it there?
No. Yes. Oh, I am so stupid. He had a bundle. Must be his guns. And first he said he wanted to buy a coat.
A coat? What was he wearing?
Trail jacket. Short. About like this.
Maybe he wanted a longer coat to cover his guns.
Oh, I don't know, Mr. Earp. I don't know. Maybe the gun shoots from the bundle. It's a trick, like you say. Oh, I talk smart. I say maybe he will be buried in the coat. But maybe it is you who will be. I am afraid. Please don't go there. Send your deputies to surround my shop. They will kill him.
The law can't do that, Tommy. Look, have you got your keys to the back door?
Keys? Yeah, yes, I have the keys here.
Hardin, I'm coming in.
All right, Earp. Come ahead. I got no guns, Earp.
Your White said you wanted to leave town. Stupid trick. Get it on a swivel.
Too slow, huh?
No, he was too inaccurate. He got off the first shot, but he missed. Put your hands on the table.
Oh. You break his wrist, huh? Good.
I didn't break anything. But he won't be able to use his hands for a couple of weeks.
Wes! Oh, Wes! Where was he hit? How bad is he hurt?
He's not hurt much.
Oh, thank God.
He's got a sore head and sprained fingers.
You should thank God that Mr. Earp didn't kill him dead.
When he comes to, you better load him on your wagon and drive out of Wichita.
Yes, Mr. Earp.
Good day, Mrs. Hardin.
Well, he cleaned up the country, the old Wild West country. He made law and order prevail. And none can deny it, the legend of Wyatt forever will live on the trail.
Oh, Wyatt Earp, Wyatt Earp, brave, courageous, and bold. Long live his fame, and long live his glory, and long may his story be told. Long may his story be told.
Wyatt Earp, as Marshal of Wichita, Kansas in 1875, has yet to face the most dangerous threat which can confront a western cowtown. Rebellious cowboys need only a leader like Manon Clemens, the deadliest gunfighter on the brawling Chisholm Trail, to become an invading band of outlaws, determined to kill every peace officer and citizen who stands in their way.
Stop it! Come back here!
You shoot your mouth off about this, and you'll be in worse trouble.
Right in front of the squad, Mr. Earp. Laying all over the place. A man kicked him right in the stomach.
You wait here.
Who beat you up, Mr. Haley?
Bennett's bouncer. I run into a crooked faro game. Look at this deal box.
I haven't seen one like that in a long time. Gaffed up like that, you didn't have a chance.
That's why I grabbed it.
Bennett's dealer used this?
Yeah. I slipped it into my pocket before they jumped me.
You need a doctor, Mr. Haley.
I need a gun.
You forget about the guns. That's what I get paid for. Men, take him on over to Doc Fabric's office.
I'm all right.
Now, you go on over there. Forget about Bennett. He's my problem.
All right.
Come on. You ever see this before, Bennett?
Of course not.
They both got your own personal brand of cards in them. Only this one's a screwbox.
It's not mine.
Mr. Haley gave me this. He said your dealer used it to cheat him. And he's going to repeat that under oath.
I don't think so.
Mr. Haley was a friend of mine. I'd like to return what you gave him.
Oh!
Oh, I'm going to give you 6 hours to close up and get out of town, Bennett.
You can't prove that...
I can prove. You're short in this town. I said 6 hours. Sam, you men about ready?
We're all set here, Marshal.
Good. Oh, Mr. Murdoch. What's the news?
Dave Bennett. He's been squawking about your order.
Well, that's good. Dave's got about the most crooked place I've ever seen.
You just can't tolerate crooked gambling.
No, I like an honest game too much myself. And so does every cowhand I ever met. Gambling house makes plenty of money on its percentage. Dave didn't have to cheat.
Bennett isn't going to take this lying down.
He may have to.
What's the idea of letting Earp run you out of town, Dave? He ain't got no right to close you up.
You got about 3 minutes left, Mr. Bennett.
When I come back here, you won't have 3 minutes.
All I'll need is 3/5 of a second with a Colt 45 if I ever see you in Wichita again.
You're bragging on yourself again, ain't you, Earp?
I don't think so.
You ain't man enough to drink liquor, so you don't like saloons. You're too lazy to work, so you don't like cowhands.
You asking for trouble?
That's just what I'm asking for. Come on, men, let's go get our guns.
All right, now break it up.
Go on, move!
Your time's run out, Mr. Bennett.
Next time you see me in Wichita, you'll be hiding up a trade.
Howdy.
Howdy.
Can one of you tell me where I'll find Manning Clements?
Well, Manning's here, but he's in pretty mean mood. If I were you, I'd wait until after sunup.
Well, my business is real urgent.
Over past that big rock. But be sure to call out your name before you ride up.
I know. Thanks.
Manning's killed 26 men. Hey, I wonder if I did the right thing by telling that stranger. 26 poor fellows in their grave.
Hey, Manning. It's Dave Bennett. You remember me?
Come on along. But keep your hands in the air.
This the way you want it?
That's the way I want it.
And with you to lead them, I can round up the boys and we'll tree Wichita to a frazzle. But your main job is to take care of Wyatt Earp.
What's so important about Earp?
He's almost as fast with a gun as you.
How many men has Earp killed?
Nobody yet. He hasn't had to. But he's that fast.
Well, I'm faster. And I always shoot to kill.
Treat Earp that way. You get 200 right now and 200 more after you cut him down.
What is the catch in this?
No catch.
How do I know what I'll run into?
Those rabbits won't fight. Just Earp and a couple of deputies. If it's more money you want...
It ain't the money, Dave. I've cut a man in half with buckshot for $50. And for no money at all.
Well, then what's bothering you?
I don't like towns. You get Earp out here.
Oh, he's not that stupid. He tricked Ben Thompson into surrendering Bill over at Ellsworth.
Ben turned Billy in? Was Ben scared of Earp?
He didn't gun him.
I reckon I'll have to settle up for Bill. I always liked Bill.
Then it's a deal?
No. Maybe it's an ambush in Wichita. Could be you're trying to bait me into a trap.
Where's Laurie?
Why are you asking?
You trust her, don't you?
She's the onlyest one I trust. I'll send her into Wichita.
We haven't got time for that.
I've got time.
Manning, I swear that
You swear. I'm waiting for Laurie's word on it. And don't you try and tempt me with killing Earp. Because if I go into Wichita, I intend to do a lot more killing than just him. But I ain't riding in there to be ambushed. I'll do the killing.
Sure, Manning. You do the killing. I'll bring him in. Come on in, men.
Marshal, it's Mr. Tom Davidson.
How do you do, sir?
Mr. Davidson, you and your men refused to check your guns, is that correct?
We're not saying any more.
Now, you don't look like the type of man that would want to spend 10 days in jail.
10 days? We can't be in jail when... Manning Clemens is coming to town.
What?
With a lot of cowhands. They aim to tree Wichita. Clemens is going to gun you, Mr. Earp.
Where'd you hear this?
We trailed him from Dodge City. Last night, we joined a cattle outfit driving here. There was a lot of wide open talk.
You say you were trailing Clemens?
He killed my son. Murdered him in cold blood. Killed my grandson. Killed his brother. Do you blame us for trailing him with guns?
No, sir, I don't. I'm sorry.
Then turn us loose.
Mr. Davidson, are any of you men expert with a gun?
There'll be 5 of us against Clemens.
He'd kill 2 or 3 of you before you got him. That's a big price to pay. I don't think your families would want you to pay it.
I'd pay it. For my boy.
Not in this town, you won't. Mr. Leggett, we'll have to hold him for a day or so. I'm going over to the newspaper office. I'm sorry, gentlemen.
thought you'd be around.
Well, you heard about it, huh?
Uh-huh. This might be real rough, Wyatt. Clemens is supposed to have killed about 24 men.
Yeah. Did you ever meet him?
Just once in Abilene. Ignorant, savage yahoo. You better start swearing in extra deputies. You'll need at least 50 men.
Hey, have you put your paper to press yet?
We lock the forms in an hour. Why?
I'd like you to write me a page 1 editorial, Mr. Murdoch. Please sit down. I'll tell you how I think it ought to go. Could you read that back to me?
Well, a report has reached the Eagle that some brainless, hairy-eared cowhands plan to tree Wichita in the near future. Our informant states that one man in Clemens will lead them. This Clemens is a horse thief, a common murderer, and a coward. We have questioned Marshal Wyatt Earp about Clemens and his associates. Marshal Earp has such a low opinion of Clemens that he dismisses the loose talk of a raid on Wichita with hearty laughter. You want to get us all massacred?
It's a good piece, Mr. Murdoch. Please print it.
Oh, now, Wyatt, this is ridiculous.
Look, I want Clemens and the cowhands to think we're not taking them seriously. The mob is only one man, its leader. In this case, it's Clemens. I'm working on him.
Wyatt, this is the sublimest lot of overconfident nonsense I've ever heard. Now, what's gotten into you?
Clemens' girl's in town. She's drifting around the saloons and asking questions about you, Marshal.
Oh, well, that's good. I'd like to know her name and where I can find her.
Her name's Laurie Castle. She's stopping over at the Texas house.
I think I'll walk around. Oh, will you print that for me?
Along with your obituary.
Pardon me. Are you Wyatt Earp?
Yes, and that's right.
Mr. Earp, I'm Laurie Castle.
Miss Castle.
I've heard so much about you that I didn't want to leave town without saying howdy.
Well, thank you, ma'am.
Oh, wait, Mr. Earp. Just saying howdy isn't all.
Oh?
It's business. Won't you come over and sit down for a minute?
Well, I'm sorry, ma'am, but I do have my afternoon
It won't
calls
take
to make.
long. Please. My name doesn't mean anything to you.
No, I'm sorry. Should it?
I have a gentleman friend who's quite well known, Mr. Manon Clemens.
Clemens. Seems like I recall the name, but
Oh, this is a surprise. How come they let you be marshal here if you don't know about Mr. Manon Clemens?
Seems I remember a family in northern Illinois by the name of Clemens. Oh, yes, of course. Mr. Clemens got into a few gunfights, didn't he?
But none of them was really his fault, Mr. Earp.
Oh. Well, of course, he's been in no trouble around Wichita here, but, well, does this business that you mentioned, does that concern Mr. Clemens?
Oh, it might, yes. Don't tell me you haven't heard the talk.
No, something in particular?
They say that Mr. Clemens is going to help the cowhands tree Wichita.
Now, why would he want to do that? I don't understand.
Mr. Clemens has a friend by the name of Dave Bennett. He talked Manon into it.
He did?
But I can talk Manon out of it. That is, if I got paid for my trouble. Wouldn't the businessmen here think it would be worth some money to head off the cowhands?
They might, but exactly how would you persuade Mr. Clemens?
I know him sociably quite well.
Well, when would you expect the money?
In advance, just as soon as it can be collected.
How much?
Seems like it would be worth $500.
Might be, but, well, I'd have to know a little bit more about how you expect to handle Mr. Clemens.
Well, he's right fond of me. And if I requested him, you want the solemn truth? I can scare Manning. I'm the only living soul who can scare him.
Oh, now, Miss Castle.
It's the truth. I can tell him you're setting up a surprise for him here. Mr. Clemens doesn't like to be surprised in a town like the James boys were. I can tell him he'll be trapped in an ambush.
Well, of course, none of that would be the truth.
Oh, for heaven's sake.
Well, you see, Miss Castle, our mayor and the businessmen, they don't want me to fight the cattlemen. No. And Bennett knows that, and he'd tell your friend, Mr. Clemens. So you just have to think up something more scarier.
All right. I got something a heap sight scarier.
To tell you the truth, I didn't think anything could scare Clemens.
Seems like you keep on calling me a liar. I've said all I'm gonna say.
Well, now, I'm sorry, ma'am. I didn't mean to offend you.
Even if I told you the real secret, you wouldn't believe me.
I can't very well raise $500 for a secret you won't tell me.
Manning's scared of graveyards.
Graveyards?
It's the truth. I can tell him I dreamed of a graveyard and he'll right out for the panhandle.
Well, I'm sorry, Miss Castle. The deal's off.
What?
Well, I couldn't raise $500 for a yarn like that. People would laugh me right out of town.
You're a stupid fool. You'll be dead tomorrow.
Graveyards.
Mr. Clemens, have you seen the Wichita Eagle paper?
Don't bother me.
Well, they called you a coward and lots of other names, too.
They've said a lot worse things about me. Come on, play poker. Doesn't it make you sore to have Earp call you a nobody? That we're bluffing? What took you so long?
I talked to that Earp in town. He's a fool. The Eagle paper doesn't put much stock in you, Manning. Nobody in Wichita's laying for you. And Earp hasn't even put on special deputies.
You didn't see no sign of an ambush?
Area one. You and the cowhands can go through that town easy. Kill Earp for me if you can find him.
Well, Manning, you satisfied now? I don't know. Sounds too good.
Oh, you don't trust me anymore?
No, I trust you.
Saddle and ride.
We'll hit Wichita early.
Thank you. So much.
Well, we've armed about 50 men, Mr. Murdoch. So if I can't stop Clemens here at the edge of town, we can cut his outfit to pieces when he crosses the city line.
Why try to stop Clemens and turn the others back? Let them come in town, take their medicine.
That's right.
Look, I started all this by closing Bennett's saloon. I'm going to finish it without getting a lot of people hurt.
All right. You ride out there alone. What happens? Clemens won't palaver.
I'm paid to take chances. If my plan works, people won't be killing and getting killed all over town.
Well, yes, but if it doesn't work?
So bury me.
Just as Laurie told you, they didn't believe we'd come. It looks awful quiet. Is that Earp? Get him now. I don't shoot from a horse.
Mr. Clemens, I want to talk to you.
Get down off your horse and I'll get off mine.
In a minute. But first, I want to warn you, I have 80 men just waiting for you to cross the line.
You're bluffing. Bushwhacked. You and Laurie lied to me.
Now, it'll be an even fight if you come into town. We'll lose men, and so will you. All Dave wants is me. I'm the one your crowd is sore at, not Wichita. So let you and me settle it, Mr. Clemens.
Get off your horse.
Not here. When I drop you, I don't want 50 bullets in my gizzard. We'll ride into the lumber yard and shoot it out in private.
Get him quick. He'll drop me. I can gun him in a fair fight. How do I know you haven't got men in there?
I don't need any help.
You talk brave, Mr. Earp.
Picked a mighty nice morning to die, Mr. Clemens.
Manning?
You wanted me ambushed.
You can ride in that truck if you want to. Not me.
What happened between you and Clemens? Saw an open grave with his name on it. It's too bad about Bennett. Should have died on the gallows. You tell Doc Fabrique I want him laid out in style for all crooked gamblers to pay their respects.
Yes, Mr. Earp.
Well, he cleaned up the country, the old Wild West country. He made law and order prevail. And none can deny it, the legend of Wyatt forever will live on the trail.
Oh, Wyatt Earp, Wyatt Earp, brave, courageous, and bold. Long live his fame, and long live his glory, and long may his story be told. Long may his story be told. Wyatt Earp, Wyatt Earp, brave, courageous, and bold. Long live his fame, and long live his glory, and long may his story be told.
One of the high spots of Wyatt Earp's career as Marshal of Wichita, Kansas, was his conflict with Shanghai Pierce. Abel H. Pierce was a New England ship owner turned Texas cattle baron. In 1875, Pierce was probably the richest and most influential, and certainly the most vivid character in all the Western country. Shortly before he tangled with Wyatt Earp, old Shanghai was guest of honor at a remarkable ceremony.
Go ahead, take it off. Yeah, boys, that's me. Shanghai Pierce to the line. $10,000 that cost me. I'm handsomer, naturally. Not another man in the South that have nerve enough to put a statue up to his own self. Hundreds of them think they deserve it, but they're waiting on the judgment of posterity. Me, I say let posterity go hang. A.H. Pierce, standing there in bronze on his own ranch. Cover me up, boys. The official ceremony takes place when the cattle drive to Kansas is over.
Oh, Mr. Pierce. Please, sir.
What's them things, Davy?
Telegrams congratulating you.
I forgot my glasses. Here, you read them.
Dear Mr. Pierce, I know of no living Texan more worthy of a statue than you are. Kindest regards, R.B. Hubbard, Governor.
Hubbard gets my support next time.
Dear Shanghai, I think it's wonderful about the statue. William Buffalo Bill Brooks, Marshal of Dodge City.
Good old Bill.
And here's one from Luke Short, Marshal of Abilene. There isn't a man of my acquaintance more deserving of a statue.
Hey, who's that one from?
Oh, Wyatt Earp, the new Marshal of Wichita. But listen to what Wild Bill Hickok wires you from...
Earp? Earp? Well, we're heading for Wichita. What did you say?
Well, friends of yours here have asked me to comment on the statue you have erected. I suppose they want a tribute to your character from me. I am informed that last season you and your men raised more trouble in Wichita than any 5 outfits from other ranches. This is to warn you in a friendly way that we expect better behavior from you this season. W. Earp, Marshal. Oh, don't worry about Earp, Mr. Pierce. We'll take care of him.
We'll take care of Earp.
Don't worry about
You bet we'll take care of him.
No, boys, no. That ain't the way I'm going to handle Earp. I'm going to handle him just like I did Hickok and Buffalo Bill.
Buy him off, Mr. Pierce?
Key wrecked. Never met a man yet that didn't have his price. Tie that cover down tight on my statue, boys. Then get on your horses and head my cattle north. We're on our way to Wichita. Hooray!
Oh, good morning, Mr. Murdoch.
Oh, hi. Why all the iron?
Oh, we're preparing a reception committee for Shanghai Pierce. We're saying howdy with lead this year.
Oh, no. Just got a telegram from Shanghai.
Yeah?
He promises to be a good boy. I'll have a talk with Mr. Earp. You fellas take it easy.
Okay.
Howdy.
I hear you're planning a reception.
Yeah. Got guns stashed in places along Douglas Avenue and down Main Street. I'm going to take Mr. Pierce as soon as he shows in town.
Oh, now, Wyatt. Read this. Shanghai says, no trouble.
Oh? What changed his mind?
The statue, I think. Man puts up a statue to himself. He must be anxious about his reputation. I've given him a big spread here on page 1. No matter what you think of him, there's nobody else like him.
Yeah.
Now, Shanghai's not a bad character. Generous, fabulously wealthy. I think you'll like him, Wyatt.
Well, whatever you say goes, Mr. Murdoch. If Mr. Pierce wants to behave himself, well, that's wonderful.
Shanghai Pierce outfit is this town's biggest customer. He has at least 300 cowhands on his payroll, and at least that many more pickup drivers. He's throwing a big party when he hits town tonight.
Sounds like a big operator.
From here to Shanghai, China. That's his brag. He made a fortune in the China clipper trade before he left Boston.
Excuse me. Expressman left this barrel, Mr. Earp. Said it was a present for you.
A present?
Uh-huh.
Well, let's have a look. Can't be bribe money.
Compliments to Mr. Shanghai Pierce.
Oh, champagne. Imported.
Well, thank you, Mr. Pierce.
Yeah, there must be a whole dozen here.
Oh, there's 2 cases at least.
Yeah?
How's this for a peace offering?
It's right handsome. I hate to look a gift horse in the mouth, but what'll I do with it?
Wyatt, don't you even drink champagne?
It's too bubbly. Makes my nose itch. I give it to Mayor Hope.
And Mr. Murdoch?
All right.
Thanks. This doesn't mean any more to Shanghai than if another man were to offer you a cigar.
Well, perfume. Boy from the Wichita Hotel sent it over.
Well, this must be my day. It's from a woman that says she's in serious trouble and would like police protection. You know anybody by the name of Alice Kennedy?
Do I? Alice Kennedy's an actress. The loveliest one that ever played Wichita.
Oh? You better go down and talk to her.
No,
Yes,
hold
sir.
it. Miss Kennedy's too an important actress to our theater out here. She doesn't write mash notes, not even to the handsome Marshal Earp. You better go see her yourself.
All right, but there's something odd about that. There's no theatrical company playing here in town. Why would an important actress be here?
Well, will you go and find out? Maybe it's a story.
I'll let you know. I just know you're going to take good care of that champagne. I still think Shanghai Pierce is up to some kind of a trick.
Yes, it's over 2 cases there.
Yeah, howdy, Mr. Saunders. I understand you got a Miss Kennedy here.
Yeah, she's waiting for you in the ladies' parlor, Mr. Earp.
Thank you.
Mr. Earp?
Yes. I got your note, Miss Kennedy. What kind of trouble are you in?
Well, I don't need police protection. That was just a fib to get you here. But I am in trouble, and I hope you'll allow me to explain a rather odd situation.
Well, I have the normal amount of curiosity.
Won't you sit down?
Thank you.
You're much different from what I expected.
So are you?
Oh? How's that?
Well, you're quite a lady.
Oh. But what I've agreed to do isn't at all ladylike. Well, I don't know how to put this delicately. Mr. Earp, will you escort me to a party tonight?
Shanghai Pierce's party?
Yes.
How do you rope you into that?
My show stranded in St. Louis. He gave me $5,000. It bailed us all out.
That was kind of him.
It really was. Oh, there weren't any strings attached to the gift. I haven't even met him. He sent the money to my hotel, and when we all went down to thank him, he had left town.
You just happened to be here in Wichita?
No. No, I was in St. Louis at the Planters Hotel. He sent me a letter with $1,000.
And what are you supposed to do for that?
Come here to Wichita, invite you to the party, and that's all. I know it sounds silly.
Yes, it does. But I believe you, Miss Kennedy. You know, you don't have to be beholden to a man like Mr. Pierce.
Well, you see, Mr. Earp, I have a good play in manuscript, and I haven't any money. Mr. Pierce said he might lend it to me or back the play himself.
Well, that's very honest, Miss Kennedy. You didn't have to tell me the truth. You know, any man would be right proud to take you to that party tonight. No questions asked.
Then you'll take me?
I'm just the city marshal here of Wichita, and that just isn't reason enough for Mr. Pierce to be playing up to me the way he has.
Well, he's a man of generous whims. Maybe it's just his way of trying to make friends with you. I took the trouble of inquiring about Wyatt Earp. I think Mr. Pierce wants to brag to his friends that he knows you and that you're a friend of his.
Well, aren't you worried about what other plans he might have?
Other plans?
For you?
Oh, I'm not afraid of Mr. Pierce.
You should be. He's got a lot of rough men behind him. Men that'll do anything he says. He's rich enough that he thinks he can buy his way out of any trouble, including trouble with the law. Oh, I think you ought to be afraid of him.
Well, what can I do? I'm here. I've made the gamble.
Miss Kennedy. It's all right. We'll go to Shanghai's party.
Thank you, Mr. Earp. Now I'm scared again. What will Mr. Pierce expect of me?
Well, I think he probably expects you to have me tied to your chariot wheels by this time.
Oh. Well, would you pretend a little?
You know, I've been thinking about it.
Oh, this will be a good one tonight. Come on, everybody, sit down, sit down. Maylene, take the ladies' hands. Now, eat up, drink up. You don't see it, ask for it. Your money's no good tonight. This party's on A.H. Pierce. From here to Shanghai, that's me. I'm more full of wind than a Yankee Clipper sail. And I got a copper bottom that's dragged 1,000 miles over the Chisholm Trail, but I ain't never sprung a leak yet. Oh, excuse me. Well, sweet Alice Benbow, the pride and the toast of the Mississippi.
Oh, well, thank you, Mr. Pierce. Mr. Wyatt Earp, Mr. Shanghai Pierce.
Howdy, Mr. Pierce. Why, you're just a young sprout. Well, isn't that wonderful, the history books? You sending me a sassy telegram.
I didn't mean to make it sassy, sir.
Oh, forget it, son. I like a young man with grit and gumption. Shake, no hard feelings. Hey, you've got a grip like a longhorn's bite. He never tried to squeeze you, did he, Miss Alice?
Oh, no.
And a gentleman, too, huh? Well, son, a man who don't recognize and respect a lady ain't no man at all. Miss Alice, you and I better consult about that theater business while I'm still sober. Excuse us, son. I won't keep her long. You know, I'm young enough to take a dare, but I'm much too old to make good on it. Folks, I want you to meet the star of the showboats, Miss Alice Kennedy, and my good friend, Wyatt Earp. Now, entertain him, everybody. We'll see you in a minute. Miss Alice. It's mighty good of you to come so far, Miss Alice. But I was betting you wouldn't stand up old Shanghai.
Of course not, Mr. Pierce.
Sit down.
Thank you.
I bet you're wondering why I go to so much bother about young Earp.
Well, yes, I have, a little.
He's in my way. I come up here from Texas, I want to see Wichita wide open like it used to be. I hope I ain't shocked you.
Oh, no, not at all, Mr. Pierce.
Well, that's a big relief. Because when you read about Shanghai in history, I don't want you believing all them mean little things they'll put in them books.
Well, you've been very kind to me.
I'm trying to be kind to that boy. I sent him some champagne. I arranged for him to meet you.
No good. I don't think that wine and women are his weakness.
You sure?
Oh, he'd make love to me, but he wouldn't do what I told him. Why, he's as strong-willed as you. Have you ever done what a woman told you?
I sure never did. And now there's got to be some way to get to Earp without just killing him.
Mr. Pierce, I like that man.
What's the answer?
Well, this, maybe. I know he likes card games. Oh, I feel pretty rotten telling you this, but the clerk at my hotel told me he's the best man in an honest game of poker he's ever seen.
That's it. Gambling can be a worser passion than wine or women. You are worth your weight in gold. But I may still need you, so you stay friends with her.
Well, I will, if you promise me that you won't.
You got a better guarantee than that. I bragged to my boys that I'd bring Earp into camp. Of course, if his price means a shooting match, well, but it won't be. Gambling.
I don't really understand, Mr. Pierce. Usually when a man sets out to buy the law, he's a little more cunning about it.
Rich men like him don't bother to be subtle. Do you have a price, Mr. Earp?
Well, I don't know. I've never really thought about it till today.
I hope your prize isn't a shooting match. Is that your prize?
Hey there, you two. Is that being good guests at my party?
I'm sorry, sir. We were just sitting...
No, forget it, son. It's time for a poker game. You play?
Yes, sir, I do, but I don't think it would be too exciting for Miss Alice.
Oh, that's all right. I had a rough trip from St. Louis, and if you don't mind, I'll be excused.
I'll walk you back to your hotel. You gentlemen go ahead with the poker game. I'll join you shortly.
Take your time, son. Just take your time.
I had a lovely evening, and thank you for inviting me, Mr. Pierce.
Pleasure's all mine, Miss Alice. Don't forget you're dining with me tomorrow, about 1 o'clock.
I wouldn't miss it for the world. Good night.
Good night. I'll see you later, Wyatt. Yes, sir.
You've made it a very nice evening.
Well, thank you, Miss Alice. You're mighty fine company to be with. Say, do you happen to know whether Shanghai plays an honest game of poker?
With all his money, why should he cheat?
I'd sure like to give him a beating.
Is that gambler's fever, or is it just that you don't like him?
I'd just like to win enough for you so you wouldn't have to depend on him.
You're very sweet. But I'm not in this for money now.
No? Well, then why do you stay here? And why do you have to meet with him tomorrow?
Because I'm scared of something. Be careful, Wyatt.
I'm betting you 50, son.
I'll see that and raise you 50. I fold.
How about an extra 100 in the showdown?
That's not the game, Shanghai. We agreed on a 100 limit on any one pot.
All right. Lay 'em down.
Flush.
Full house.
Running kind of low.
Don't you be worrying about him, Brother Parkins. His IOUs are just as good as gold with me.
Well, thanks, but I'm not quite cleaned out yet.
You stand up good to a run of bad luck, son. Ante up.
That's your deal. I guess can't seem to do any good.
That's a good-sized pot.
Oh, that's it for me.
Oh, you ain't quitting, son.
Just till the bank opens, Mr. Pierce. Enough to pay off these IOUs and pick up a stake to have another go at it.
Ah, what's money, son? Stay here with me. I enjoy your company.
It's daylight. I've had enough. How about you? We'll catch a nap for a little breakfast, Shanghai. Then we'll be back to give Wyatt a chance to get healthy.
I never saw a string of cards played better, son.
Well, thank you, but I hope my luck will change. At least it better. I'll see you after breakfast.
Now, wait a minute. Sit down. You know, son, I was aiming to persuade you that this town should be open wide again. Now I realize you wouldn't do that.
I couldn't keep my job. The mayor would just fire me and get himself another marshal.
All right. Then forget this two-bit job. Throw in with me.
Doing what?
I bought this place. The whole shebang.
You what?
I bought this place last night, and I need a partner. And I'll sell you a half interest, and you can pay me out of the profits. You like card games, son? You'd keep 'em honest.
It's mighty tempting, Mr. Pierce.
All right, then I'll just sign my name.
Well, hold on a second.
Huh?
Well, sir, I may be kind of stupid, but I just don't get all of this. First you send me that champagne, and then Miss Alice, and now you offer me a half interest in this place. Why? It just can't be that important to you whether or not Wichita is run wide open. You're only here 3 weeks out of the whole season. Even if you did get me to quit my job, Mayor Hope and Mr. Murdoch are committed to a decent policy. You don't buy all of Wichita when you buy me. It just doesn't make sense.
Now, you have a price, Earp. Every man has a price.
Well, Mr. Pierce, don't tell me that you went to all that trouble and rigmarole just to prove that every man can be bought and has his price.
Correct.
Sir, I don't believe that. You got too much sense and ability.
I came here to buy you. I bragged to my boys. And don't you be thinking that if you quit this job, Hope and Murdoch would be able to get a marshal as good as you. I would have been able to handle the average John Law. Son, I've offered you an interest in a good gambling place. I guess I'm getting stupid and stingy in my old age. And I'm kind of a lonesome maverick, too.
Well, you got a lot of friends, Mr. Pierce.
Friends? Sure. But I need a partner. All right, son. I'm asking you to throw in with me on the whole shebang, from here to Shanghai. It's worth a fortune, and I'll give you a partnership.
Well, that's right handsome, Mr. Pierce. I always did like the cattle business.
Then it's a deal?
No, sir.
Son, you don't understand. I'm offering... I got no one else, no family. Are you deaf? I'm giving you a half interest in the whole shebang.
I'm all alone.
That's I don't think we'd get along, sir.
Oh, son, now I
Sir,
thought
it's still
you...
a price. It's a good price, and I thank you, but I couldn't throw in with you or anybody else with a price tag on me. Good day, Mr. Pierce.
Why, you young fool! You ungrateful! Shanghai! Shanghai! Where's my boys? Shanghai! Shanghai! Shanghai!
Wake up, boss! Hello! Bring me my gun, and all of you get your guns. We're gonna hoorah this town! I'll show that young squirt.
Wyatt,
Miss Alice,
what is it? What's all the noise about?
I had a little disagreement with Mr. Pierce. Thinks he's going to shoot up the town, so I guess I'm going to have to throw him in jail till he cools off a bit.
Oh, are they coming after you?
Sounds like it. Miss Alice, I got just about enough money in the bank for you to pay off Shanghai and produce your own play. I wish you'd take it.
Thank you. No. I'll pay him back. The show can wait. Besides, I'd still owe you.
Yeah, well, the difference in owing me is that I wouldn't put any price tags on you. Now, don't worry.
Wyatt, don't go.
You stay here.
I'm Shanghai Pierce, and I'm not taking any more of your insults, Earp. You can't hide all day, and I'm going to sit right here till you come out.
Sorry to have to do that, Mr. Pierce.
Hold it! Don't fire, you'll hit Shanghai!
You men stand back. We're heading for jail.
We ain't putting up with this, Shanghai.
Oh, shut up. I can handle this. It's a good thing I like you, son. Everybody's going to jail. Come on! Nobody can lick Shanghai Pierce, boy. Whenever he makes up his mind to do something, he does it.
Yes, sir.
No, sir. Shanghai never takes no for an answer.
Yes, sir.
Is that your jail?
Yes, sir.
Well, that's a poor excuse for a jail. I'll come up here one of these days and build you one you'll be proud of.
We'd like that, sir.
Well, it'll be a pleasure.
Well, it's too bad, but I couldn't put a price tag on him.
Price tag? I don't understand, Miss Alice.
Oh. Well, it's a long story, but the end of it is he'll never be the husband of an actress.
Well, he cleaned up the country, the old Wild West country. He made law and order prevail. And none can deny it, the legend of Wyatt forever will live on the trail.
Oh, Wyatt Earp, Wyatt